Here we have a crazy right-wing Christian by the name of Lucas Miles, who claims that teaching CRT robs God of the glory of getting people to suffer, because this person believes that people should suffer, like most Christians who think that suffering is something good.
Look at critical race theory, one of the things it does, I think, from a Christian standpoint, that we have to really understand is it robs the believer of the opportunity to suffer for Christ. If you are promoting critical race theory, what you're saying is that all suffering or all injustice in society, all persecution in society, is as a result of skin color, socioeconomic status, country of origin, amount of melanin in your skin or something like that.
Yeah, slavery didn't happen because white people wanted to enslave black people in the United States. Slavery happened because God wanted black people to suffer. Like, I guess that somehow makes it better, and that those black people should have been happy to suffer because God had willed it to be that way. That's pretty messed up. But the idea that people are supposed to suffer is just a way to convince people to deal with abuse or something else, systemic or not, and just be like, oh yeah, this is what God wants, so I just gotta deal with it and be a better Christian.
That what this does is it robs from the believer, especially the believer that is a person of color, if we're going to use these kind of arbitrary definitions, which I don't really think have a whole lot of meaning anyways, from a faith standpoint. But if we're going to take on this nomenclature, I think that it's very important to recognize that this robs God of something that we're called to give him, and that is obedience in the face of suffering and persecution. When
Wow, if you're a person of color and you're suffering systemically from the government or society, just deal with it. Because if you don't believe that suffering is good, you're robbing God of being a slave to Him. Yes, black people, you gotta be slaves to God because that's what this guy wants. Black slaves.
we suffer for his name's sake. This side of eternity, the only thing that I can give the Lord that I can't give him in eternity is suffering for the sake of Christ, suffering for the gospel. Critical race theory robs this because now the suffering is all about me. It's about my skin color. It's about my sexuality, my, country of origin, my immigration status, my socioeconomic status. And this takes
Yeah, ignore that you're actually being systematically oppressed by various groups of people around you and your government, which does happen, is happening, and has happened. Oh, that's bad because, it's about you. And you're not worshiping God and sucking him off and thinking about how bad Jesus had to deal with it when he's a God and didn't feel any pain. I mean, this idea that, like, God and Jesus suffered is really idiotic when you actually realize that if these beings are who they are and what they would not felt any pain whatsoever. Dying is nothing. But these people, they're using religion in order to try to justify their bigotry. They want to see black people suffering and tell them that it's good for them to suffer because it makes God cry if they don't enjoy it. It's like, it's just mental illness being accepted.
from God the glory that could be given to him in the face of suffering for the name of Christ and the name of Christ alone.